Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown, Dunkirk, and Westfield, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County.
The Chautauqua Center.
Are you looking for affordable medical, dental, or counseling services? The Chautauqua Center is always accepting new patients at their Jamestown and Dunkirk locations. They offer discounted prescriptions and accept all insurances. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Doc Hamels. Welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. Hope you're all doing well. Boy, the weather is really awesome. I'm not sure what to call it. I don't know if it's an extension of Indian summer, it's an early spring, a late fall. I don't know. Indians, oh, this is true Indian summer? Oh, I just got that from my, after the first snow, we have weather like this, according to my certified resource there in my earpiece there. Okay, thanks, Jeff, for that. I guess I didn't know the snow was required. So we're in Indian summer. It's awesome. Great weather. Okay, well, hopefully the winter we have is mild. I always figure every day after November 1, if there's no snow, it's one less day of winter. That's how I count it. Anyways, glad you could join us. I want to say good morning to everybody that's viewing us here on Spectrum 1301 or through Access Chautauqua. I want to say good afternoon for those of you that are joining us around the world. We're streaming live. Every now and then we have a blip in the equipment here, and last week I think the streaming part of it was down, so we weren't able to come live for you, and a lot of times we enjoy seeing who's been watching from wherever, but glad you could join us today, and also good afternoon to those of you that are listening to us on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people, Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a great week. Well, it's been kind of a slow news week. Nothing much going on. Are you going crazy yet? I see Justin's back from the Board of Elections. All in one piece. Nobody tore you apart or anything like that. Nope. Did anybody bring you food? I know once you're there, you're like locked in for the day, aren't you?
Due to COVID, we weren't supposed to be bringing stuff
No,
to share.
Oh, nothing to share. A lot different. Everything was different this year with all the plastic barriers and things. Well, I want to do a moment right now and just do a shout out to every candidate, winners or losers, doesn't matter. Thank you for running. It's in a way you're providing a public service to your community. You're giving voters a choice, giving us an opportunity to think differently, and it's not fun losing out and it's hard to take, but it's part of the process, isn't it? I thought back in my own political career, and I know I sometimes come off a little bit like a political animal, but I'm really not, I don't think. But I've actually run for office 12 times and was elected 9 out of the 12. So I haven't won every time, and each time you got to kind of take stock in yourself and say, what could I have done different? What didn't I do quite right? And sometimes there's nothing you can do. It's just the way it is. So anyways, and I want to thank all the folks that worked at the polls and the supporters of all the candidates. This is a lot of work. And the folks that are doing all that counting in that, it's a tough job this year with COVID and all the changes with the absentee ballots and the write-ins and the, what else you call it? Affidavit stuff and all that stuff. There's another one too, from the Army. What do you call those ones? Jurisdiction or? Yeah, I don't know. There's different ones I know that are out there. So it's a tough job. So we made it through so far, and we're still going to figure this all out, I guess. So anyways, enjoy the beautiful weather, and I want to remind you that we do accept phone calls. Last week we had a couple, and the number is 716-753-5225. If you have an announcement for your club or organization that you want to share, don't be shy. We every once in a while somebody does call, and Mr. Randy, he's on the line. He'll pick up the phone and write me a message or whatever, or he can magically push some buttons and we'll put you on the air and happy to talk with you. Today we're going to be talking about veteran services. So for those of you that are interested in that, I'm giving you a heads up if you want to stick around, because this is always fascinating to me, the changes that are constantly going on in how we serve our veterans throughout the county here. Okay, let's see, what else is going on? Just as a self-serving kind of a thing, the band that I play with, the Growlers, we're going to be playing at the Big Inlet tomorrow at 1:30 to 4:30, part of the Bill Ward experience. I don't know what else to call it. I think he does like a program where he brings in guest musicians and stuff, so we are going to be the feature group tomorrow. So Randy Henderson, myself, and Bob Henry, we're going to be out there playing all kinds of really fun music for you. Let's see, what else? Okay, I think that's it for the moment. So I have a bunch of announcements to go through, and then we'll get to my guest who's been patiently waiting here. All right, let's start right out with slide 15 there, Jeff. Prevention Works, virtual silent auction. There's a lot of that going on this year where people still have fundraisers, and for instance, the Ripley Free Library, public library, is going to do the same thing, but here's Prevention Works, and it says, if you haven't heard, Prevention Works Incorporated in Jamestown will be moving their office location. We are unable to bring all our office furniture items with us, looking for a new to you desk or filing cabinet. So it's new to you, old to them, or a filing cabinet. Possibly an office chair or computer monitor. We might have what you're searching for. All items are pictured on their website and divided into sections of furniture, electronics, and miscellaneous. The person, of course, with the highest bid for each item will win. Winners will be contacted on November 23rd. Please make sure you list a working phone number and email so they can get a hold of you. If you win an item, you will be responsible for picking it up and taking it with you. So Justin, if you want that big old desk for your dad's Christmas present, you got to be able to haul it.
We don't have any room in
No room, huh? No room at the end. Okay, it's a cash or check only. And if you're interested, give them a call at 716-664-3608 or go to info@preventionworks.us. And the phone number again is 664-3608. Now oh my gosh, we have a birthday here which goes out to, I think, Thailand. Now, do you know how to pronounce this?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to do the best I can. It's a happy birthday wishes from Randy, and it looks like Dav Lin Chakrabanhu. How did I do? Anyway, she watches the show from time to time, and we all want to wish her happy birthday all the way in Thailand, and she's originally from Kennedy, New York. Okay, cool. So moving along, number 16. This is a cool one. from the Reginald A. Center for the Arts, presents movie trivia nights in November. How cool. Have a listen. Okay. The Reg Cinema Showdown. They do this to me all the time. Quaran Trivia. Quaran. I don't know how to say that. Quaran Trivia events will be conducted through Zoom Thursday nights in November through the 19th. Each competition will focus on a theme featuring multiple choice questions regarding movies that have been shown at the Reg Linnaeus Center for the Arts. PJ Wendell's quite a movie buff. He should do this. Upcoming competitions include Sports Ball on November 5, which has already happened, featuring sports movies. Falling for You on November 12th, featuring film romances. And Talking Turkeys on November 19th, featuring family films with talking animals. Each game starts at 7 p.m. Interested participants may donate $10 online to the Reg to receive an invitation to play. The winner of each competition will receive a prize package with items from sponsors including Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, Jamestown Tart Skunks, Lone Palm Cookie Company, and Tots Gift Boutique. Sounds like fun. All donations benefit the Reginald A. Center for the Arts as it prepares to reopen to the public, having halted its event operations due to the COVID pandemic. Visit Reg Linnae, R-E-G, Linnae, L-E-N-N-A, all one word, .com, and find the Reg Linnae Center for the Arts on Facebook for more information. So, trivia night. Okay, I got another thing here. Whoops. Hang on a second. I got to check my messages just came through. I'm sorry. It wasn't Dav, it was Dar. Darlin Chakra Banhu. There, I think I said it better. Randy's handwriting leaves a bit to be desired there. All right, moving on. Number 17, active parenting classes. We talked about teens a while back. Now, if you have anybody in this category, 5 to 12. 5 to 12-year-olds aren't usually too tough. It's the teens and the twos. Whew. All right, join us for upcoming active parenting classes, ages 5 through 12. 3 virtual 2-hour sessions via Zoom video communications. Da-da-da-da. Dates, November 18, 25, and December 2. Holy mac, we're talking about December already. Time, 12 to 2 p.m. Location, of course, is Zoom. So right in your own living room or wherever you have your computer. Active parenting will give you the skills to achieve a fuller, more satisfying family life and help your children achieve greater happiness and success. I heard like music playing in the background. To sign up for the parenting classes, please call Kathleen Colby at 664-3608, and she's the Director of Training Services. All right, what are you going to get out of this? The workshop will show you effective ways to open up lines of communication, teach responsibility, courage, and other important traits, encourage school success in 7 steps, prevent future problems with drugs, alcohol, and sex, use nonviolent discipline that really works, diffuse power struggles with your children, stimulate independence as your child grows older. I thought it was interesting, the one about teach courage. In these days that we're dealing with bullies still, I don't know if it's ever going to go away. Kids have to learn to stand up for themselves and, be strong as best as they can. So hopefully this workshop is of interest to you. Again, 664-3608. Ask for Kathleen Colby. All right, what do we got here? All right. Marine Toys for Tots. Okay, we read this last week, and I'll give you the lowdown on this one. All right, they're doing drive-through events to collect toy donations. Several drive-through events will be held in November to collect toys for this year's U.S. Marine Toys for Tots in Chautauqua County. Now, typically, collection boxes are placed in more than 100 businesses throughout the area during the holiday season, so local residents can drop off donations of new or unused toys. Because of the COVID virus, there will not be as many collection boxes this year, so organizers of the Toys for Tots have had to come up with new ways to collect toys. The drive-through collection events will be held today, November 7th, yikes, at Foot Avenue Plaza in Jamestown, Saturday, November 14th at Kirk's Jewelers on Vineyard Drive in Dunkirk, and on Saturday, November 28th, at the Chautauqua Mall in Lakewood. The hours for each event are from 10:30 to 2:30. State and federal virus guidelines will be followed. All right, members of the Southern Tier Storm Soccer Academy will assist with the November 7th event, while some exceptional stars athletes will help with the event November 28th at the mall. This marks the 20th straight year the resource is coordinating the Toys for Tots drive in the county. Assisting and operating the campaign again this year are Chautauqua Connections, the Chautauqua Connections Children's Coalition as well. For the 6th straight year, Allied Alarm Services has donated the use of its facilities to store the toys that are donated. Begun in 1974, begun in 1947, there my dyslexia just kicked in, 1947, the Marine Toys for Tots campaign seeks to deliver a message of hope to the less fortunate children throughout the United States by providing them with toys for Christmas. More than 700 toy drives are held throughout the nation each year. The Resource Center has led the local toy drive since 2001, 19 years. Wow, and now listen to this. This is the number that's always startling to me. Last year, 3,289 Chautauqua County children received gifts. 3,289. I will put a wager out there that it's going to be a lot higher this year. Something to think about. This year, applications must be submitted online, and you go to jamestown-ny. Now this is all one word, toysfortots.org. Okay, let me give it to you again. Jamestown-ny, so it's like Jamestown, New York, jamestown-ny.toysfortots.org. Children under the age of 17 and younger, children age 17 and younger whose families meet household income guidelines are eligible for assistance through Toys for Tots. Families may apply for toys until December 13th. For agencies, community groups, and schools, applications will close December 4. The Resource Center's primary mission is supporting people with special needs. While many people with disabilities benefit from Toys for Tots each year, the Resource Center also coordinates the annual toy drive in order to give back to the community. Through the TRC, Chautauqua Connections, and the Connections Children's Coalition, they organize the toy campaign. Support from area residents and businesses makes the effort a success. Cash donations, of course, are welcome as the money is used to buy gifts for children in age groups that are typically not receiving any kind of toy donations. People can donate via the Toys for Tots website, or they can mail a check made payable to Toys for Tots to the Resource Center at 200 Dunham Avenue, Jamestown, New York, 14701. And you can go to their webpage for any kinds of updates. Okay, what else we got here? Do that one. Okay, hang on. I always got to make sure I'm doing this in the right order because I do get out of order sometimes. All right. And then this late one came in from the Zion Covenant Church to show viewing of Walking While Black. The Love, Mercy, Do Justice Ministry of Zion Covenant Church will sponsor a public viewing of the documentary Walking While Black. Then it's LOVE. Love is the Answer. On Friday, November 13th at 6:30 at the Zion Covenant Church. Walking While Black is a documentary exploring the challenges law enforcement faces while policing in communities of color. Featuring interviews with peace officers, faith leaders, educators, activists, and others, the film offers an inspiring blueprint to end racial profiling and heal our communities. Walking While Black, Love is the Answer, was produced for audiences to engage in conversations to improve police-community relations, teach anti-racism, and help people to learn how to love each other. The viewing, in collaboration with the Chautauqua County Sheriff Department, will be offered at Zion Covenant Church at 520 East Fairmount Avenue. The on-site viewing will accommodate 100 people. Individuals are also able to view it via Zoom link as well. Register for either online or in-person viewing on the Zion Covenant website, which is ZionCov, so ZIONCOV.org, or give me a call at 488-9310. Again, 488-9310. Sounds fascinating. Hope you check it out. Okay, we're going to take a breather. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
That is like my life. Brody takes out no less than 13 toys within a couple hours every single day. And I haul them back out, and he hauls them back in again. So it's like Christmas every morning. All new toys. All right. Well, thanks for joining us here. My guest today is no stranger to the show here. I want to welcome back Greg Carlson, who's the Executive Director of Veteran Services of Chautauqua County. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, because a lot of times I switch it around and I have you working for all different agencies.
You did a little bit, but that was perfect.
Okay. So welcome back. And so how's life with COVID working in public service right now? It must be pretty crazy.
It's getting better. It was very difficult initially because it was just completely and totally uncharted territory for everyone.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Now everybody is thinking that way. So as before where people would just shake hands.
Yeah.
Now everyone, they kind of, elbows, they stand back.
Fist bumps and things like that.
And people are getting used to having to go through a protocol anytime you come to an office, get your temperature taken, have the standard questions asked where people kind of already know what's coming. And that part of it's easier. And now we're starting to be able to see clients again, of course, socially distanced with masks. And for a while we were not able to do that, and it really slowed things down and made it difficult. And people hunkered down, so it was challenging at first. It's getting better every day.
Yeah. And I think that you said the protocols, I think it's just becoming part of life now.
Yes.
I mentioned, I think it was last week or the week before, I had to have some minor procedure done at the hospital. And in order to get to that hospital, I had a COVID test. I had to do all these things that you wouldn't even think of that you got to do now. I mean, it wasn't even on my radar screen. And now, in order just to enter places or get services, sometimes you got to get tested.
Yeah.
So, but you don't have to have that for you guys. You just
No.
Just a matter of the mask and behave yourself and keep your social distance. Right?
So when we set up an appointment with a client, we'll ask them questions over the phone. Has anyone in your household been sick? Has anyone tested positive for COVID? Are you having any symptoms? If so, give us a call. We'll reschedule for a later date. And then when they come to the office, we go through the same process.
So you do the temperature, you said?
Yeah, hand sanitizer, temperature, get their information, basic information. Then there's the standard 4 questions.
We were just talking about the temperature taken last night over dinner, and you go to some of these places, like large organizations, like the casino at Presque Isle or whatever. They have this thing, you stand there and it scans you like at the airport and takes your temperature, and I don't know what else it does. But
yeah,
it's like, but now people are like zapping you or rolling it across your forehead, or I don't know what else, giving you the one oral. It's like, wow.
They've got a fancy one at the Jurassic office building. When you go in, they have it like they don't even have anyone manning it. You just kind of walk up in front of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I volunteered at the blood drive in Mayville about a week ago, and we had a volunteer, and her job was, pop the thermometer into one of those little sleeves and into the people's mouths. I did the computer. I let them do the temperature thing. So, anyways, Greg, for those that may be watching for the first time or have watched but maybe don't remember exactly what's all involved, what does your department basically do, and what's your mission? If we can just I'll do this every time with you. I just think it's important.
So the Chautauqua County Veterans Service Agency is separate and independent from the Department of Veterans Affairs. Now, everything we do relates to advocating for Chautauqua County veterans and eligible dependents to get benefits from the Department of Veterans Affairs. But a lot of times people will think that we work for the VA. We don't actually work for the VA. We work for the county, and we represent Chautauqua County veterans, and we assist them in obtaining the benefits from the Department of Veterans Affairs that they have earned through their service, or for dependents who are qualifying because of their husband or wife's active duty service. And that's really what we are as advocates. And The Department of Veterans Affairs, like any other government agency, is a huge bureaucracy. It can be very confusing. The rules can be conflicting and always changing. And sometimes people, instead of getting benefits, will just get frustrated. And they won't get those benefits just because of the bureaucracy, and we help them navigate the bureaucracy as much as possible, advocate for them, try to correct things when they get things that happen to them that probably shouldn't happen.
You know, I used to have a philosophy is don't stop after the first 15 no's, because maybe number 16 you'll break through because you learn something new, or there's, like you said, new rules or regulations and changes. So basically you guys are the ones that help people navigate the system.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how that benefits the county is obviously we bring lots of federal dollars from the Department of Veterans Affairs into Chautauqua County, and that helps with everything from spending power, you know, buying and shopping at local businesses, to offsetting the cost of state Medicaid, health care. I mean, it's across the boards, it's beneficial to the residents of Chautauqua County.
A lot of times people will ask the question, well, like, who pays your salary? So who pays for
The
your
taxpayer.
So Chautauqua County.
Chautauqua, yep, we are civil servants. We are Chautauqua County employees, just like any other department.
Is
or
it a
agency.
mandated service?
Say it again.
Is it mandated?
So what is mandated in New York State is, now the size of the Veteran Service Agency varies, but every county in the, and I don't know if it's, I might say this wrong, it might be in the New York State Constitution, it might be in another document, but every county will have a Veteran Service Officer. So that is something that is actually a statewide mandate. Where that's written, I'd have to do some more research for you.
Okay,
But that
so-
is a thing. Every county has a service officer.
Okay, so that's required. So where can people find you? Let's start there.
Okay, so you have great access to everything veteran related here in
You tell me
Chautauqua
that all the
County.
time.
I do, and I'm telling you, when I talk to veteran service officers, colleagues, directors of veteran services all across the country, you have places where you have to travel 2-3 hours to find a clinic, or you have to travel 2-3 hours to find a service officer. Or you have big cities, big metropolitan areas like New York City, Baltimore, where you have clinics, you have service officers, you have these things, but you have hundreds of thousands or maybe even millions of people that live in these population
long
centers.
wait lists.
Long wait lists. So we have it really good here in Chautauqua County. So in Jamestown,
Okay.
we have a Veteran Service Agency office on 610 West 3rd Street, and you have 2 service officers there, myself and Mike Rao.
The Bear.
The Bear, yep. And then we also have Carrie Finnerty. She's our operations assistant, and she does all of the burial benefits
Okay.
for Chautauqua County, and that is huge. That is a huge thing. So it's not going to pay for everything, but roughly, if a veteran is in receipt, meaning that they are receiving monetary benefits from the VA, whether that be compensation or pension, and they pass away, that is $1,000 for their next of kin or towards the cost of their internment burial.
Right, right.
If they die as a result of a service-connected disability, that's $2,000. That's not exact numbers. If Carrie were here, she'd correct me on the exact dollar amounts, but roughly speaking, $1,000 for someone in receipt, $2,000 for someone who dies of a service-connected disability. And of course, there's some more rules and regulations to that, but that's the basic premise. Multiply that by the number of claims she does a year, and you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars
Wow.
in burial benefits. And not every county, so some, and I might be telling other service officers out there, but people who don't have someone who does that exclusively, a lot of times that falls off the radar.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they're so busy with compensation claims and pension claims, and that $1,000 or $2,000 at a time isn't kind of what they're chasing after. She does it so well.
And it's so important to the family.
So well, and
Yeah.
she's complete. And in addition to that, they also get the flag, they get the presidential certificates if they choose to get them. There's some other things. They get the placard for their, and she does the forms for that. She arranges it. She has direct contact with all of the funeral homes. So a lot of times, someone will contact our agency, and she's already got the file 75% done, and she'll say, "Oh, just come in. We need your signatures, and you are all set."
When you were talking about that, I was thinking of my own dad when he passed away, and that probably in the top 5 memories of my relationship with my dad was the day he was buried, and the emotions of that whole experience, but the fact that the military was there, and my son actually was part of the ceremony with the flag and so forth. He presented it to me. There's a lot of work to that.
That there is, and
There's a lot of coordination, and I mean, and it just seems to validate that individual's life with the family. I mean, it really is so important.
And Carrie does it so well
Mm-hmm.
that when she takes vacation, Mike and I are kind of lost. We just kind of roam around the office aimlessly when somebody has a question about burial benefits. So we set out a rule. I don't know if we're able to enforce this or not, but no veterans are allowed to die when Carrie is on
Right.
vacation.
Posted,
So they're safe. So
you're
veterans
safe for
should
that
be-
week or
they're-
two,
They're
yeah.
safe for that week or
It's
two.
not gonna
because
happen
if
this
they
week.
do, we are in big trouble there. So.
Now, while we're talking about this, and I don't want to keep perseverating on death here, but since we're talking about benefits, as I recall, that a veteran also is eligible for a marker, a grave marker.
Correct. Yep. And that's why I said the placards.
Oh, is that
Marker.
the treatment placard?
Yes.
Oh.
Sometimes I misspeak.
To me, a placard is like a sign or something.
Placard, marker. Yeah.
But I
may
mean,
have
like a
said that wrong.
stone. I mean, a nice one.
Yeah, and and sometimes there will be a veteran that didn't get those services for one reason or another, and I've seen Carrie go the extra mile to get somebody
Go
who
back
maybe
and get
passed
it.
away 20, 30 years ago. If they'd never received that benefit, get the marker and get the flag. And, get the
And
things for
you
the
know,
family.
I was telling you earlier that I'm a town historian now in Ripley, and I've had to go and do a little bit of research for people, and very often a veteran has been interned, but there's no marker. It's just a plot of grass there. So, I mean, it means a lot to families to have that done. So they're eligible for that. Wow. But let's add one note in there, because it sounds a little confusing maybe to folks, because when you're in that situation, you're under a lot of stress. The folks that they're the undertakers and morticians, they do that all for you. They help you with all that paperwork as well, right?
But yes and no. So yes, they help, but they help by contacting Carrie.
But I mean,
Yes,
they help you
absolutely.
make those connections.
Yep. So what they'll do is when they interview the families, one of the questions they ask
Right.
is your loved one a veteran?
Yeah.
And if they are a veteran, then immediately they contact our office. And a lot of folks are surprised when they come in for either survivor benefits, or even when a veteran comes in who has been widowed or a widower and we pull their file. Carrie goes as far as cutting out their obituary and then putting it in the file. So,
wow.
you'll open up and they'll see, oh, that's
Yeah.
mom, that's dad,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
whoever.
Wow,
it is.
that's a lot of work.
She does, yes, and she does it so efficiently.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like it's a lot of work, but to us,
When she watches this show, she's going to want a raise, you know.
she does. What's that?
After watching this show, she's going to want a raise.
She deserves one. That's for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about some other services. So Veterans Day is coming up, and that's why you're here, because I always have you before Veterans Day and before Memorial Day. Because I'm all in for veterans, all in, and so people always mix up the two holidays, right? I think they do. There are two different purposes to the holiday.
Correct.
So Veterans Day,
So Veterans Day is obviously anybody who served,
right?
live or no longer with us,
Mm-hmm.
or it is literally a day to celebrate.
Thank you.
All veterans.
Well done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Memorial Day is geared towards
The
the
deceased,
veterans. Yeah. Now, I am one of those guys where I'm not a legalist when it comes to this.
Ah.
Right? So on Memorial Day, if someone says thank you for your service,
Take it.
I take it. I don't ever give them the what
Yeah.
for about don't thank me because I didn't. Absolutely not. But yes, technically Memorial Day is just that. It's Memorial Day. It's time to remember those who paid the ultimate
Going to the
sacrifice.
cemeteries and-
Correct.
right, yeah.
And to honor all those who fought and died for our country. And then, what's also I've noticed is nice about Memorial Day is it's a good day to remember maybe someone who didn't pass away in the line of duty, but they served in World War II, lived to be 90, but are no longer with us.
Yeah.
So that's also, I look at Memorial Day that way as well. You know what I'm saying? To remember those who have gone before us. Where Veterans Day is the here and now.
Yeah. So, are there any county plans, not necessarily yours, but across the county right now for Veterans Day? Because I know with COVID, it's really
It is a little
really
bit,
slowed
it is
up,
a little
but-
bit more difficult, and I'm going to miss some stuff, I'm sure. But the Brockton Legion, Post 434,
Oh, yeah, they're
Brockton,
huge, yeah,
they're going to
busy.
have their annual Veterans Day service that they always have, and it's about an hour long, and then it's culminated with a 21-gun salute, and of course, social distancing and masks, and they'll do everything safely. But that's going to be tomorrow
Oh,
at 1 o'clock, and that's in Brockton.
okay, not on Veterans Day itself.
Not on Veterans Day. I think they always do it on Sunday because it's more of like a
Yeah.
Traditionally, they've always done it on
Tie in-
Sunday.
tie in a religious service
If
or something.
Henry Link were here, he's the commander of the Legion. He'd correct me, but since I've been doing this, it's always been on Sunday. But they do a great job. It's a great ceremony. I know, like, as a matter of fact, I brought with me Brookdale. They're baking apple pies. And,
Brookdale, no, who's Brookdale?
they're an assisted living facility in Lakewood.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and they want to give back to veterans, so they're baking apple pies. And if you RSVP, you can pick them up Wednesday, November 11th, from 4 to 5:30 while they still are there. They may
While
go
they last.
quickly while they go last. So that is something that Brookdale is doing. And
That's a new one. I don't remember them.
no, this is
Something they've done
yep.
right along?
And then
I don't think we
I
talked about
gotta
it.
put one
Okay.
out there for another one of my Chautauqua County agencies, and that's Carts.
Oh, yeah.
On November 11th, on Wednesday, they are offering free rides to vets.
Wow.
So if you've got some stuff you want to do and you are a veteran and you do not have transportation, then give Carts a call because they are giving free rides.
Okay.
On
And,
that day.
you
And-
know, I don't know how it was possible. I grew up and spent most of my life until my son one day said to me, because he's a veteran, and he said that, about Veterans Day being the 11th day of the 11th month at the 11th hour,
yep.
that World War I peace treaty was signed.
Correct. Yeah.
So
Armistice Day.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that that's the magic time, day, and place. And I just always thought that was cool. So now whenever I see that day, it's like I think of Scott telling me about that. So really cool. All right, I think in Ripley they're going to do something at the memorial site there that we have right in town.
And on 3rd Street in Jamestown, across the street from the Quickville where they have that little Veterans Memorial Park, they'll have their annual Veterans Day. I want to say it's at 10 a.m. Double check me on that one. If you're planning on going to that, check the Post Journal.
Right.
Look it up online. And then that's usually followed by right downtown. They have another event. Now this year with COVID, I'm not exactly sure how to do that because marching in formation kind of
Right,
violates that.
spread out.
Everything's a little bit different, but to the best of my knowledge, those things are still going on. So there are always on Veterans Day events that are going on, kind of the traditional ones, and how it's affected this year remains to be seen.
Now, I
That's
know
my
in the
knowledge, they're
past,
still
and
going.
I'm guessing it's the same. I can't say for sure, but I'm guessing many of the restaurants in the area very often provide free of charge meals to veterans, right?
Yes,
you have
and
anything on
there's
that?
all kinds of discount. Well, that's just the thing right there. I knew I would leave something out. Most restaurants that are open are offering discounts for veterans. Actually, in Chautauqua County, a lot of times places offer discounts for veterans anyways, and they have the Return the Favor card. Have I ever talked to you about the Return the Favor card?
I don't know. Return the favor card. Go
Okay,
ahead, go
so
for
Return the Favor. If you haven't heard of this before, let me tell you about it.
it. All right.
So, and I've always said Chautauqua County is a great place to be a veteran.
Every time you're on here.
We love our veterans. We love well, the county clerk's office wants to keep the best records possible. So they want anybody who has served and has a DD-214, that's your discharge form, they want you to file that with the county. That way we have it as a part of our permanent record. It does a lot of things. First and foremost, if you lose your DD-214,
It's there.
we can get it for you.
Right.
But as an incentive for doing that, if you make an appointment with the deputy clerk, they will take your picture and they will give you a little ID. And there is a 4-page list of vendors that offer discounts
Really?
to people who have the Return the Favor card as an incentive for taking your DD-214. Now that is not a VA benefit, that is just a local thing,
A good thing, look.
incentive that they came up with to
All
make
right,
sure
all
we
right,
get
so
as
let's
many
run this through
records as we
again.
can.
So let's say you've already registered your DD-214. Can you still get the?
Absolutely. So
All right.
if you've and this happens a lot. I'll have a veteran who will come in to me and I'll say, "Do you have a copy of your discharge papers?" And let's say they served in Korea, and they'll say, "You know what? I just don't." And then I'll say, "Well, did you ever file one with the county?" "I don't think so." And then I'll go and I'll look online, And sure enough,
Bazing.
on November 3rd, 1955, and it'll be stamped with whoever the county clerk was at that time, and they just can't believe it. But it's not so prevalent now. Younger vets, for whatever reason, they don't think, because everything's electronic, they just don't tell them like they used to. But back then, they used to tell people, as soon as you get home, you take this discharge paper and you take it to the clerk's office and make sure you do it. So they do, and they don't even remember doing it. But yes, if you have done that, but you do not have the return the favor card, you can still make an appointment. Got to do it by appointment. You call the deputy clerk at the Chautauqua County Clerk's office, and as long as they can see that you have your
Yeah,
DD 214
sure.
there, they will issue you the
All right.
return the favor
So
card.
there's something new, folks, that we didn't know.
Yeah, and that's a local thing. That's not
Very
not
nice.
a VA. But the only thing is, there's a list that's specific to that. So some people will take that card to another place.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, I've
What do
never
you
seen one of
mean?
these before.
outta
They'll be in
here.
Ohio, and they're like, I don't know what this is.
Okay, so that's another nice side benefit of the whole thing. Okay, so let's see. So we said Brockton, Ripley, Jamestown, probably just about everywhere somebody's
Every
doing
place
something.
is going to have something for Veterans Day, and you look in the paper, and they usually have it
Yeah.
announced. I kind of go to the same ones each year. Now, for Memorial Day or Veterans Day, when I have given speeches, I try to go to different places. But as far as the ceremony type stuff, Dave Adams. Oh, I forgot. This is a perfect segue.
Poor Dave.
Dave Adams is our service officer
Dunkirk, right?
in Dunkirk, and he is co-located with the Dunkirk VA Clinic.
Mm-hmm.
His phone number is 268-6030, and he is the service officer for the North County. He does a fantastic job. He is a passionate advocate for veterans, and he's been at it for a long time now. So
Good.
he's getting pretty darn good.
Okay, so now we've kind of bounced around with different things here.
Sure.
So for those that are listening right now, maybe somebody served in the Korean War and they have never had any interest in signing up with the Veteran Services or the VA because they have a job and they got great insurance and they're fine. Okay, World War II veterans that are listening, there's still a bunch around.
Oh, yes.
Same thing. Never. My dad. I don't need them. I'm good. And then I found out after talking to you, they probably should have.
Yes.
So why should the veterans that are listening right now, or families of veterans, because I think family or the spouse should be involved as well, right?
Absolutely.
Why should they contact you guys?
Because it's never too late.
Okay.
It's never too late. And boy, you got to be careful with this type of stuff, because
All right, careful.
you can't use names, certainly not without their permission. But very recently, I met with a 97-year-old World War II veteran
Okay.
who, other than healthcare, had never sought any VA benefits. And I had a conversation with him, and he is a vibrant and fun character. And throughout the course of our conversation, through some questions, I was like, we should look into this. And sure enough, just recently everything came together, and he was shocked at the outcome, pleasantly shocked. And all he could say to me is, 97 years old. Man, I could have used this when I was raising kids and stuff, you know. But it's
So
it's
nothing's
never-
retroactive, right?
No. Unfortunately, nothing is retroactive.
$2 million in retroactive.
No, but I'm
benefit.
just saying nothing like that. But it truly is never too late. If it meets the requirements, it meets the requirements. And then we've talked about this every single time I've been on the show.
Yep.
And I'm going to reiterate it
Go
because
for it.
I still hear it. Don't think that you are taking benefits away from anybody else by seeking the benefits you're eligible for. And I don't know how many times I talk to a veteran who has private health
I don't need it.
insurance.
Let somebody else have it.
Right?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, I don't need it, let someone else have it. And what they don't realize is that, for example, the manning at the community-based outpatient clinics, the number of providers you have is based on the number of veterans you have enrolled. So if you do not have enough veterans enrolled, you could lose a provider. And an example of that, now, first of all, let me compliment the community-based outpatient clinic in Jamestown. The new one's beautiful. They just had their ribbon cutting and their grand opening. But when it changed over to the new contract, they went from having two full-time providers, to 1.6. So
Ooh.
one full-time provider
So there was a cut
and a
there.
part-time provider, and it was based on the number of people enrolled. So that's why they said, well, hey, how can we get back up to 2 full-time providers? I'm like,
Sign
have
them up.
more people who are eligible enroll. So if you're eligible, enroll. If you're not eligible, come see us, because I don't want to put a number on it because it wouldn't be scientific, but I'll say anecdotally, 50% of the time or more, we can get you eligible. So we can find a small service-connected disability or ask you the right question about your service that nobody has asked you before, and we go, that's
There you go.
that's the ticket. One of those is Camp Lejeune service, because they had the contaminated drinking water there. Even if you're not sick, even if you don't have anything related to the contaminated drinking water, if you were at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, for 30 cumulative days between 1953 and 1987, you're in healthcare regardless of your income. Or not, well, I mean, you got to enroll. But I'm saying,
right.
I
It's
don't
not
want to
automatic,
misspeak.
yeah.
People are like, oh, I'm in, right? No, you got to come enroll. But a lot of times people will say, hey, I'm over income, I don't have a service-connected disability. I was in from 80 to 84 and didn't serve during the war and didn't have any whatever. I'm like, you were where? Where were you? You were in the Marine Corps? You were at Camp Lejeune? You qualify. And they're like, what?
What?
Nobody's ever told me that
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Just got to, like you said, you come back and you ask, that's that one day you ask the right question.
The right question. Constantly. Now, I need you to straighten out something for me.
Okay.
Okay. So, people that are involved with veteran services sometimes need medical service.
Correct.
So, I'm going to say 3 terms and help me figure this all out for people. I think I've got it figured out.
Okay.
Clinic in Jamestown.
Correct.
The VA something or other in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Medical center.
And medical center. So let's go clinic, medical center, and then Pittsburgh VA hospital.
And Buffalo.
And Buffalo. So did I get that right?
Absolutely.
Different levels of service.
Absolutely.
So can you kind of do the...
So a community-based outpatient clinic
Okay.
is going to be like your regular doctor's office, primary care.
Okay.
Now, the clinic here in Jamestown, they offer blood work. You can do telehealth so you can get your blood drawn there. You can get an EKG there. You can get a telehealth appointment
So
with
you talk to a doctor?
the pharmacist. But you're going there for your annual checkups.
Okay.
Hey, I got the sniffles, I got a cold, I hurt my back, just like you would to your primary care physician. And then from there, they can refer you to, now in Jamestown, they're going to refer you to Buffalo. I don't want to get into the logistics of what state you're in. But
right.
a VA medical center like Erie, it's not a full-fledged hospital.
Right.
Okay, so they may not, now I don't want to say what they do and don't perform there, but you're going to have like gastroenterologists there. You're going to have cardiologists there. You're going to have a wider array of services. They also have an urgent care clinic at the Erie VA Medical Center,
Right.
but it's not a hospital. They don't have an emergency room.
So they're not going to do surgery and
I know that they do have some procedures that they do there, but
Right.
it's not a full
nothing like
scale
open heart
hospital.
surgery
Correct.
or right what?
That's what they're going to send you. Now, Buffalo or Pittsburgh, they are full-fledged hospitals where they have all of the services you could possibly imagine. They do surgeries and emergency rooms, and somebody goes to the emergency room and has to be admitted to the hospital. Those are full-fledged hospitals. So you have clinics, which would be just like your doctor's office.
Okay, primary care.
A medical center, which would be almost like you go to JAMA, where they have I don't even know if it's JAMA anymore. I might say that wrong, but they have everything, right? They have
A wider array,
a wider
yeah.
array of, and they might even do endoscopies.
Right.
They might even have stuff like that, but it's
But not
minor stuff,
major,
not
major,
full-fledged.
major.
And
And
then you have like UPMC Chautauqua, where you have
Okay.
a full-fledged
Because
hospital.
I think that's really confusing to people, because they think, well, if they go here, they can get that done. And go, no, we mean I got to go to Buffalo now, or I got to go to Erie now.
But I've had it go the opposite way too, where somebody has a primary care physician at the Buffalo VA, because that's where they've always been, and then they go, wait a second, there's a clinic here in Jamestown. I could just go to the doctor there and then go to Buffalo.
Hello.
So this is an interesting little piece of trivia. The first community-based outpatient clinic in the country was in Jamestown, New York.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. They were the first, 1995.
Okay.
First outpatient clinic was in Jamestown, New York.
In what year?
1995.
That wasn't that long ago.
Oh, that was a quarter of a century ago. I don't want to date
Not
us
for me,
here.
it wasn't that long ago.
A quarter of a century ago.
Okay, we got a phone call. Let's take a phone call. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Doc. Good
Hey.
morning, Greg.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you, Greg, to you and all of the veterans that have sacrificed so much and given us so much. Thank you. And it's so good that we are honoring the veterans this week. And also I want to mention that veterans are our primary group of people that we are to serve first with the Senior Employment Program.
That's right.
And I'm very happy that we do that. It certainly is most deserving of the veterans. So thank you very much. I also want to say that there are senior employment services, and people should call me at the Office for the Aging at 753-4471.
Okay, very good. Are you out there in the nice weather yet?
Oh, my goodness, I've been going out every morning walking along the lake. It is so beautiful.
It's going to be great.
The sun coming up and the sparkling, glittering lake. It's just, and the weather is so perfect.
Right. I don't know if you heard me say, but I'm going to be at the inlet tomorrow at 1:30. Come on over.
Yeah. That is really neat the way they're doing that in Jamestown.
Yep.
Now-
Not in Jamestown, up in Mayville.
Or in Mayville. I'm thinking of the other inlet.
No, big
okay,
inlet.
I'm
the big
thinking of the
inlet.
boat inlet.
No, the big inlet. Big
No,
inlet.
the
Down the
big
road from you.
inlet.
Yeah.
Oh, what, tomorrow afternoon?
1:30 to 4:30. Yep.
I'm going to have
We
to go
live music.
over.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you there.
Okay.
All right, Lynn. Well, thank you for calling. And,
Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, Greg. Thank you for going on the show. It's always so good to see you.
Good to see you too, or hear from you. Actually, I see her
I'll
quite
see-
regularly. Though. I see her
I can't
regularly.
see her.
Though.
That's not the way these
When
cameras work.
anytime she's in her office, she pops in and says hello.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. All right, Lynn. Take care.
Take care. Have a great week.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, I want to return to a common theme that we have because I think it's worth mentioning. Going back to my dad was indoctrinated by my mother that don't go to the VA because you got to change your insurance, you got to get all involved, and blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't until not long ago that I found out from you don't change insurance.
No, no,
There's no VA insurance.
no. So the VA is a provider. It is not an insurance.
Right.
So you can use it as much or as little as you want. Now, there is one little caveat to that, and that is if you have private insurance like Blue Cross Blue Shield, and you use the VA, okay, the VA will try to bill your insurance to recoup a little bit of their money,
that's
just
the
like they
game.
would if you went anywhere. But here's the crazy thing about it: if Blue Cross Blue Shield says no, the VA just gives you the service anyways. But it's just a way for them that at some point in time, I'd have to go back and look up the year. Like anything else, they're just like, hey, if we have someone who has private insurance and they choose to use the VA, and I actually choose to use the VA because it's the best care for me that I feel I've received. If I have an appointment at 10 and it's 10:05, I've been waiting a long time. I mean, the care is excellent, so I choose to go there. If someone chooses to go there, then they will bill the insurance if you have private insurance.
Right.
Now, a lot of people, a lot of younger veterans who have families, have private insurance, but they'll use the VA, and really they'll go there just once a year for the physical.
And that's all you got to do, right?
That's all you got to do to stay active. But then they can use it, for example, free eyeglasses. So some hearing aids is usually later in life. You get free hearing aids if you come. But they'll use it for certain things, but they'll keep their private insurance. And then once their families are old enough, or if their spouse is covered by their employment, but their kids grow up and get their own insurance, then a lot of times they'll go exclusively to the VA and save themselves some money on the back end. But no, it does not affect, if you were enrolled in VA healthcare, it does not affect your private insurance. Your ability to have
this
insurance.
went on forever. I mean, my dad panicked because I was trying to get him some services. I won't go into it because he thought he would have to give up his insurance, and I didn't understand it at the time. Well,
There's
anyways,
one thing I have to mention.
Go for it.
And I can't believe I failed. I almost made it the whole hour and I did not mention this. And it has been so vitally important during this COVID pandemic. And that is our PFC Dwyer program. And that is run by Cindy Reedy, and that is the peer-to-peer group. They're still having their small group meetings. And she is, now I'm going to get in trouble with Carrie, because Cindy is, they would have to compete for the hardest working people in the Veteran Service Agency, but she does such a good job of making sure that these veterans stay linked, stay together. They still have their small group meetings. I know a group of Vietnam veterans have coffee every week in Jamestown, where the Daughters of the American Revolution, the house they own there. And they get together and they go out and they help people and they give veterans rides who need them that doesn't fit the bus schedule that we have. And they do so much, and they have done so much to keep people from being isolated during this pandemic. Because some of us work, have no choice. We have to get out there. But some of these disabled veterans that can't, they're isolated. Now they're even more isolated, and she keeps them in touch and does such a great job.
Does she have a
with that.
contact number?
Yes, I have it.
You have it this time.
I have
All
it.
right, let's go for it.
I am trainable. 661
661.
8447.
Okay.
She's also on Facebook, Chautauqua Dwyer.
Okay.
And you can contact her and find out, and she sends out, you can get on her email list, and she will send you out all the activities that they're doing for the month. They have, some of the stuff, like I said, is different because of COVID, but they still have their small groups that get together and meet. They have like the Veterans Coffee, and then they have a gaming group that plays. There's so many things.
Whatever they do.
I'd get it all wrong.
All right. So again, 661-8447. And that would get you to Cindy?
That'll get you to Cindy.
Okay. All right. So we got about 3 minutes left, and this is where I want to go. We've sort of think, as far as veterans go, are like the old timers. But let's talk a little about the ones that are just coming out of active duty. What can you tell those folks? Because we do have people just getting discharged, honorably discharged. They're done with their time and their hitch. So what should they know?
What they should know is that they're eligible for the same benefits that the World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and everything in between. Learn from your seasoned veterans who've been out there. Don't come back when you're in your 60s and get ready to retire and say, holy cow, I could have been doing this for the last 40 years. Right when you get out, come back, meet up with the service. And most of them do. Because in today's world, they're so connected with social media. They'll come, they'll see a service officer, and they'll get hooked up right away with whatever they're eligible to get hooked up for. But don't pass up your opportunity to get benefits right away if you're eligible for benefits. And some of these guys just have, maybe minor injuries or whatever. They're not going to have, it's not going to be huge financially, but a lot of these guys get out, they're 22, they can enroll in VA healthcare, and you know what I mean? And that gives them some job options. Maybe I don't have to have health insurance right away, and I can take this job where I'm provisional for 6 months.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
And don't,
That's a good idea.
oh man, I would love this job, but I don't have health care benefits. I can't afford to not have it. Oh wait, I'm enrolled in the VA. And although the VA, this is another little known fact, not little known fact, although the VA is not an insurance, being enrolled in the VA still covers you with the Affordable Care Act. So every year they send you that documentation in the mail that says you were covered under the Affordable Care Act for these for these
So there's no break in coverage.
Correct, no break in coverage. So I get one of those every year, and
Very good.
yeah.
And 1 minute left. Widows and children, minor children, they have some
Yes,
benefits?
I'm very careful about because the kids that would qualify as dependents, if they're an adult, they would have to be a dependent adult, meaning that they have disability of some sort where they depend upon the veteran.
Right.
But absolutely, if you are the spouse of a veteran or the widow of a veteran, just check with us. You may or may not be eligible for benefits. At some point, you probably will be. Meaning, we have something called survivor's pension, which usually doesn't apply until someone is elderly and needs assistance. But even if you're in your 60s and you come and see us and we say, hey, you're not eligible for anything but down the road you may need this, and then sure enough, they remember that when the time comes that they need some extra assistance, and they're like, the
Okay.
VA.
Phone number?
661-8255 for Jamestown.
Dunker?
268-6030.
All right. We've run out of time.
Perfect.
Well, Greg Carlson, thanks for joining me again. I hope those of you who are watching today that you've learned something new or reinforce what you can do. And I want to say thanks to all the veterans that are out there for your service. Really, I truly mean that. We've got lots of veterans in our family, and I just so indebted to them and their families. Everybody's in this together, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so check out Veteran Services of Chautauqua County with Greg Carlson and all those guys that do all the good things for all of you. So we'll see you next Saturday. Enjoy the great weather this weekend and in the week. So be safe and be careful and continue wear those masks.